We're glad to have you at the IABC 2011 World Conference Research Foundation Luncheon in San Diego. Can you talk a little bit about your presentation inside?
The core was stuff that I've shared before and that I'm sharing a lot right now. It's about the behavior model and behavior trigger. So what are the three things that have to come together for a behavior to occur? Motivation, ability, triggers. There's a grid we've created that specifies 15 types of behavior and so on.
In your presentation, you talked about hot triggers and cold triggers. Could you expand on that?
Yeah. So a trigger is a call to action. It's a prompt, it's a cue, it's something that says do this now. A hot trigger is something that you can do immediately. So if my phone rings and I have my phone in my back pocket, it's a hot trigger. If my phone rings and it's in the room and I can't hear it, it's not a trigger at all, it's a cold trigger. A cold trigger would be like a billboard or a magazine ad that says Mercedes and that's all it says. A hot trigger might be somebody saying, here's a hat from Mercedes, put it on. So the behavior is put on the hat. So technology provides us ways of issuing hot triggers.
What has changed in human behavior over the past 5 years, besides technology and the economy? What has changed?
What a good hard question. Well, what came to mind fastest is we're getting lazier. We're naturally lazy, but I think we're even getting lazier. We're very much one-click culture. If I can't do it in one click, wow, you better rethink it. You better redesign the interface, but can't do it, or nearly so. I think for people who are using Twitter, the ability to communicate in 140 characters, the preciseness, the concision of that, I think it's a great training ground. So one of the recipes I talked about here was simple, social, fun. And if what you're trying to communicate is not simple, doesn't have a social aspect, and it's not fun, it's not going to work. So think about how do we make it simple, social, fun.
For people who missed your session this afternoon, what is the one thing that you'd want to let them know, one key takeaway from your discussion?
Start looking at the world and everything around you. Motivation, ability, trigger. So the one takeaway is behavior happens when three things come together at once. Somebody has some level of motivation, you have the ability to do what you want to do, and then it gets triggered. So behavior equals motivation, ability, trigger. It's the one thing. And if you can start seeing the world around you, like, whether it's going down and, seeing a sign for a restaurant, whether it's walking into a shop, whether it's looking at Facebook, and start seeing the world in those dimensions, you will start understanding the elements and the drivers of human behavior better and better and faster and faster.